Got Killed didn't have like a bad episode, but it wasn't all that great. It, like I said, it was decent. It's not average. It was good, but it wasn't great. But it wasn't bad. The first half of the episode, in my opinion, is the best half, and I think they should have just focused the entire episode on it. All it really was development for Shayla. We got like a backstory on her, and pretty much she has like the same backstory as shoot, just had them in my brain. Can't think of her. I did have them in my brain, but she has pretty much a backstory of she was clumsy and all of this stuff, and it was because she was clumsy that people would pick on her. But she had one friend that wouldn't pick on her. So one day she was with her friend, and her friend had an abusive ex, and he was about to kill her. So Shayla killed him. She wasn't charged for a crime because it was self-defense, and she never talked to her friend again. And that's pretty much that entire thing. And I think that I really did enjoy that backstory. It was one of the more in-depth backstories that we've seen so far. I really did enjoy it. I don't think that there was a problem with it, and that's why I'm saying I think more of the episode should have been based on Shayla than the incident of Leone and Tatsumi getting like separated in the town and him meeting that other girl. I don't remember her name. I think it's like Sayasu or something like that. And all we really know about her is that she's an Imperial police, and she's one of the only ones, if I'm correct, that has an Imperial arm. And she named hers Korokoro, which is kind of funny. If I think of Pokemon, you can just imagine like the Korokoro leaks. That's the first thing I thought of. But it's kind of like a dog, and all they know is that it doesn't really speak human. It can understand the human language, but we don't know how it battles or anything. And it only goes with the only way that Imperial arm goes with somebody is if it's compatible. If it likes the person, it'll move and it'll react to them. If it doesn't, it won't react. And I thought that was actually a really smart idea. But the whole concept of the second half of this episode, it wasn't bad. It's just that I don't think they should have brought it up yet because they weren't able to develop the characters right. I think Leone kind of had her own development when the series started off, but we don't have a backstory on her for the most part, and I think that's why they should have held off on her till next episode. And that's because every other character up till this point has their own episode for development, and Shayla only got half of an episode. Mine got a full episode. Akame got a full episode. So it doesn't really make sense that Shayla is the only character that only gets one episode. Leone doesn't really... She got a little, but it wasn't really devoted towards the backstory. And I don't think it's fair that Shayla only gets that little due to the fact that I think she's probably one of the most unique people in Night Raid. So it doesn't really make sense that they adapted her like that, in my opinion. And maybe the development was rushed, and if it is, comment down below, because that may be what the issue is. But it doesn't feel as if... maybe they're trying to get to the action really fast. It didn't feel like it was too rushed, but it does feel like her development wasn't there. And I think that's the problem with that episode. The only other thing that really contributes to the plot is that I think her name is like Sayasu, that orange-shaded girl that had the Imperial arm. Her teacher was Zank. I think it's Zank or Zan. The guy that they beat last episode. And apparently, he said that to make her stronger, she had to go through like some type of human experiment. And it would involve a lot of pain. So that makes me wonder... she's obviously a real person, but is that human arm, or not human arm, but the Imperial arm, the result of a human experiment? It can't be, though, because it was passed down from generation to generation. So another thing is, how did that thing survive, since it seems to be an actual life form? Did they have to revive it as due to an experiment and use her as a life force in some way, and that's why it hurt? That could be the reason why. Now, I'm just an anime watcher. I'm not a manga reader for this specific show, so that's just speculation there. But overall, it wasn't a bad episode. I think that like I said, the thing that brought this episode out was the beginning, like the first half when they did Shayla's development. The only problem that I have with this episode, there's two things. Number one, the comedy is bland. I think they should just cut it. The comedy is really bland, and it does waste some time, and I haven't really laughed at it, so they should just cut it for now. And number two, it's still the Seiyu Ieyasu thing. Why? Oh my gosh. They're dead. You had to develop them before they died, not after they died. You have no emotional tie if they're already dead. That entire emotional tie should have happened before they died, not after they're dead, because now we feel no connection. It's too late to feel a connection because they're already dead. Get over the fact. It kind of reminded me at a point where they were talking about you can't revive someone with Imperial arms, kind of like Full Metal Alchemist, where they were talking about not even like what was it? I can't even remember. Not transformation, but transformative, whatever. You know, when they were trying to revive another human being, and it just can't be done with alchemy, and that's kind of what it reminds me with the Imperial arms. But that's it. Those were really my only two problems with the episode. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.